There we go. So anyway, Rob, this morning I took a coaching call, and I have a new we have a new member, and they were talking about using their ads and a few things like that. And they're just saying they're getting a lot of clicks and getting a lot of likes on Facebook or on social media, but they're not converting. And they just were kind of wondering what's going on. And I kind of talked a little bit about the psyche of the customer or the potential customers that are getting on, that are coming on board, and they're looking at their products, or they're looking at their company, but they're not converting. And he kind of wanted to know what my thoughts were, and I kind of went along the lines of when people are looking, there's a feeling of confidence when you have a sponsored ad, that when people see sponsored ads, they don't necessarily go, well, they're not getting ranked, they're not being, they're paying for their view. And some people are kind of making decisions that maybe or maybe not. It's hard to get into the psyche of the customer, but I feel that when you're not being found organically, there's a feel that you're artificially being put there, and it's not necessarily going to give you the best results, like our local organic SEO that we do. What's your thought on that from that comment?
So if I'm understanding what your topic was, it was about he's currently doing ads on Facebook and he's doing ads on Google.
That is correct.
Okay.
That's correct. He didn't say he was using other platforms, but those are the two that he brought up during our conversation.
Okay. So what I see inside of that is there's a whole entire movement. So you have the difference between organic and you have the difference between paid ads. Right. So many business owners have been trained and taught to go paid ads instead of worrying about organic. And the reason being is because a lot of these marketing agencies, they have X number of spend with Google. They're getting kickbacks. They're getting kickbacks with Facebook. They can make money off of doing that. And I used to make money with my agencies when I did that as well. I mean, I'd upcharge the ad spend. It made sense. A lot of business owners understand ads because they bought ads in the yellow pages, the newspaper, and billboards, and all of those different things in the past, so it just makes sense to them. So the biggest difference is being found organically. So organically, you're going to be at the top of the search engine. So no matter which search engine we're using, no matter if that's going to be voice search, if that's Google, if it's Bing, no matter what search engine they're doing, they're going to be at the top below those ads. So there's a whole entire psyche between those ads. Some people think that it's just a paid spot. They're going to be more high pressure. I've read studies that say that the person who clicks on that knows that they had to pay for that spot. So what they'll do is they'll scroll down. As they scroll down, they'll get into the organic stuff. And that's when you hit page one inside of for your website to rank. That's when you hit page one for your Google Maps to rank, or your Google Business Profile, or if you're on Bing, your Bing Places to be able to rank, or your Apple, or whatever it might be. So that is what that organic side is. So that's really where we focus at. We don't do ads. We get asked all the time if we do ads, and no, our whole entire goal is for you to be able to reduce that ad spend and for you to be found organically more than having to pay for every time someone clicks. So that's one thing that's kind of unique about us. That I end up having to explain that on a lot of my coaching calls, because everybody's like, well, how do I spend more on ads? How do I do this? And a lot of that just comes down to those three pillars. You have content, you have trust, and you have authority. And being able to run those three pillars side by side, I talk about this on a lot of videos inside the YouTube channel, is you have to make sure you're putting the content out there, and that can be done with posts, that could be done with your reviews, that could be questions and answers, it could be offers and coupons, it could be a bunch of different stuff inside the content.
But I'm going to interrupt you for just a second, though. His problem is not the ad spend. He's going, why am I not converting? And that's kind of where he was going with that whole thing. And I think it's really gets down to the organic side. When people are looking at it organically, they really have a need. That's how I interpret this anyway in this conversation, is they have a need, they have a desire for a product or a service. In an organic search, they're really looking for you. Whereas they're just kind of just searching. Do you agree with that thought a little bit?
Why they're not converting is completely a different topic than what that other piece is, in my opinion. And the reason being is because their ads. So when you go in and you make an ad, You get to pick who your ad market is. You can pick who your audience is. You can say these keywords I want to be able to rank for. You have your ad copy. You have your headline. You have your body. You have your image. There's so many pieces that come into why ads are not converting. When it comes into organic stuff, we don't have those pieces. We have some of the post pieces that might play into it, but it's your company name. It says what you do. It's your website that comes up at that very top. So conversions, it depends on, are we talking about converting on the actual search engine for them making a click, or for when they come to the website and then they have to make a decision if they're going to call you? Because that's two different types of conversions as well.
Right. Right. I agree. I mean, if they make the call and you can't close a deal, that's something we can't control. But getting them to make that call to you is the important piece. And he's getting all this information from whoever's doing his ads with, saying they're showing me all the analytics, they're showing me all the clicks, they're showing me all the things that are happening. He's just not getting the customers to make that call to them. And I don't know why that is, but the
A lot of
organic
that comes
piece,
down to page optimization. That's
yeah,
being able to tell the story and how they're sending them. So when you're talking ads, you open this big can of worms. This is why agencies make so much money off of this, is because now you have to pay them to go through and create a converting website and a landing page and make sure that the call to action on it meets what goal you have. I mean, if we're talking a drywall guy or a concrete guy, their conversions are so much different that most people are not doing the basic stuff. They're not following the Z pattern on their website and making sure it goes through there. That's one of the biggest reasons why I personally hate ads, for that reason, because there's so much more into it than actually just getting them to make a phone call. Because as a business owner, in my opinion, and correct me if you feel differently on this, is and this is what I love about organic, is we can get them to make that action. We're not just sending them to your website. It doesn't even matter if you have a website. It only accounts for about 25% of the traffic from the studies I'm seeing right now. But 75% of people are just going to make the phone call to you if you're in the home services or inside of the industry that would be wanting to do that.
yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the problem is traditional advertising and marketing has been around for so long, and that's this new world we're in of the digital age is just really harder for people to, it's not tangible the same as actually picking up a coupon or a magazine. And somebody said, well, and this isn't the same conversation I had this morning, but this person goes, oh, put your ad in this magazine. They'll put it in the doctor's office or the dentist, wherever they're at, and people look it up. I sat in a room. I just wanted to see human nature a little bit. Those ads are not working because people aren't paying attention to the written. They're not, I shouldn't say they're not working. They don't work the same as they used to, because people are spending more time on their digital devices. They don't look at the written copy unless, I don't see people picking up and perusing through those like they used to. But that's a whole nother animal. But I think
That's
online, what's that?
That's an entire different animal.
Oh, I know it is. I mean,
piece of-
I digressed a little bit because it all ties together at the whole advertising piece. I mean, everybody wants you to think that's all. I mean, it is all together, but in the world that we're in right now, that we're talking about the local marketing, the local organic searches that are happening, when there's a need, that's when the people are paying attention, and that's what we drive to your business if you're doing all the things necessary to get yourself when you're ranking. Do you agree with that?
I agree. I agree with that. And I'm going to go back to the conversion piece. There's a very important piece there. So for us, we're 100% organic for the most part. We ran some ads back in December because I wanted to see if we could bring more customers on for us by using ads. And I did some Facebook ads. And now I used to be Facebook ad certified and all that different stuff and went through all those training courses. So I know what I'm doing. I'm pretty confident I know what I'm doing inside of there. But I mean, they said that, for one, we didn't get any results whatsoever. I think we might have had one or two signups from it.
Right.
But
right, I agree.
The big thing I noticed is I'm watching them go through and charge and saying, oh, boom, yep, you're converting. And I'm looking at their analytics and it's going up. And I'm not seeing those same analytics on our server side. Now I'm looking at that from a code side. I'm looking at from the back end. I can see exactly who's on the website. I can see all of that. And I'm like, all right, they're saying they're sending people, but they don't exist. I think there's that piece to it as well. I hate to say, Facebook is full of shit on it, but it's one of those things to where I wasn't seeing it. I think there's a problem inside of the system. Most business owners would have no idea where to go to find that. And I think marketing agencies, you have some really kick-ass ones out there that are really good. But I think there's a lot of scam artists out there, and a lot of them don't even know because they don't even know.
Right.
I've taken many calls from agencies that don't even know how to go find clients. So therefore, I know they're out there. They just don't know any better because this is what they've been taught to do. And
Right.
this is how you sell them, and this is how you make money.
Exactly. And I think I think that's just a great point, Rob, is the numbers you see, we don't know how accurate they are. We don't, but really the bottom line is how many people call, is your bottom line going up, is your business increasing? And that's the only analytics that I consider that are important out there, is that you're seeing the growth in business. And as a small business owner, most small business owners have a better feel of, hey, this week is better than last week, and the next week is not as good. It's really it's not so much the analytics, and that's what people get hung up on, is the analytics. And that's why, with our platform, we've kind of gotten away from the analytics, because a lot of that is really hard to track, and how accurate really is it? And it gives it gives you a lot of warm fuzzies, but the bottom line is your business growing? That's why I told this customer today is, I'm not saying that the ads are bad or good. It's just if he's not getting the conversion, he needs to get himself more organically found, and that's what we do for him.
And that's a big key point, is the fact that I don't think ads are necessarily bad. I think they're needed in some industries, but being able to make sure that your organic is matching all the way up to the top, and making sure that you know what you're doing inside of there, and make sure that you're tracking things. What you're doing in marketing, if you're getting more phone calls, you have more sales, and you're making progress. It's one thing. I mean, if you have more leads coming in, you're doing better than you were without it.
Right. I agree. So
that's my take on it. If you like seeing videos like this, you like seeing videos with Dean and I together, we want to see it in the comments. We want to be able to hear about that. Make sure you like and subscribe, and hit the bell icon or whatever it might be for whatever network you might be listening to this on. If you don't know who we are, we're Simply Be Found. You can find us at simplybefound.com, where you can start for free today.